Peace, beautiful people. It is your girl, the real Tony Hickman, and I am back with another car chronicle video. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and this subject for a while, but I have just not slowed down, I think, to take the time to make this video because I wanted to donate some thought to it and some downloads, whatever comes right now. But I want to talk about excuses, because a lot of us don't acknowledge how much we make excuses for ourselves in situations that we are in our life. But we also don't acknowledge how those excuses hinder our growth. And I learned this lesson from someone we had a weird relationship. Like, we never slept together, none of that, but we were attracted to each other. But he was a no-nonsense person, like no nonsense, and didn't allow excuses in his life. And this happened probably like 7 or 8 years ago. And so anytime I would tell him an excuse, he would acknowledge it and call me out on it. I wouldn't acknowledge it as an excuse, but he acknowledged it as an excuse. And what it did is put the mirror in front of me. It put the mirror in front of me and let me see myself again. Because that's all that other people do in our life. They put the mirror in front of us so we could look at ourselves and be like, that's my mess, right? And so ever since then, it's been kind of something I have adapted in my own life. Because when I saw that I was making excuses for myself, I realized that that was a habit that I needed to break. But in order to break it, you have to be bold enough to face what it is that you are making an excuse for. So sometimes we'll make excuses saying we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or we make excuses for why we don't want to do something in our life, why we don't want to be honest, why we don't want to move forward on something we need to move forward to, why we don't want to exercise. We always have a reason that we create in our head, and our ego will agree with it and allow that to be our confirmation on why we don't need to do a thing, whatever that thing is for you. But when we make excuses for ourselves, it stops us in our growth. And if we constantly make excuses for ourselves, then we are not able to acknowledge our own bullshit, because our ego has convinced us that it's not an excuse, it's a way of our life. It's just how our life is, and we have to accept it because that's just the way life is for us. But that's not just the way life is. The way life is for you, for me, for all of us, it is that way because of our own hindrances in our life and how we have made the decision to not move forward on certain things in our life. Now, some things you can't avoid, some things happen, I get that. But we don't have to be away. We can always change, we can always grow, we can always become something better, something different. But in order to do that, we have to first acknowledge that we are making excuses for ourselves and acknowledge our own bullshit when we actually speak it out of our mouth. So what is your bullshit that you tell yourself? And I've had them. Even when I exercise, for example, I know that if I go further, which I'm starting to put into practice, but I have to get over myself. But when I go over the exhaustion of what I think I feel, that's when my muscles really start building. But if I don't go over the exhaustion, then it will stay the same, but it won't get stronger than what it currently is. That's something that I acknowledge. So when I get tired, I could just be like, I ain't doing no more, I'm tired. Or I could be like, I'm tired, but I'm gonna press through this so I can get where I need to be. See, that's a whole nother level. And it's the same for other things in our life. Do you have goals? What are your excuses for not monitoring your time to master that? That's another issue that I deal with. My time management sucks. Well, it has sucked. But right now I am working on putting things in place. That's how I fix my time management. So what areas of your life are you putting excuses instead of growth patterns that'll help you move forward? Because we all have them and they steady pop up. It's so many ways that excuses pop up. They come up where we can either say, I don't want to deal with this, so I'm not going to deal with it. Like I have situations like that in my life. I don't want to deal with it, so I'm just going to ignore it, right? It's still going to come back and bite. So at some point, we have to deal with it. What excuses? When we live in a truth, and that is what my friend taught me. When we live in a truth that is undeniable, that is relentless in honesty, there is no thing that can take that away. There is there's so much growth that can come from that clarity of like just being bluntly honest with yourself. But see, when you start this journey, when we start this process of being so completely honest with ourselves, that's when we start to acknowledge the bullshit that other people tell us, share with us, that they have in their own life. And it's their journey, so it's not to judge, because just like the brother shared with me, so I could see the mirror, I hope that this gets to whoever it needs to get to share the mirror. Because at the end of the day, we all don't know everything. We don't see our ways. We could be trapped by our own ego. And unfortunately, we can be so trapped that we don't want to hear anything outside of our ego telling us to stay in our complacency. So, yeah, I just wanted to share. See, that was all downloads. It just came, and I love that. When it happened like that, it just be so dope. But yeah, I just wanted to share that concept with you guys. Like, we're going into 2023, and it's time to acknowledge the ways that we have that are hindering our growth, and do something about it. Like, I don't get enough sleep. That is my reality. I know that is my reality. I need to get more sleep. I'm not going to make an excuse for it. I just have to figure out how to get sleep and master everything that I need to get done in a day. But I'm proud that I have started a process. I've started the process, even if sometimes I can't do 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I at least do 5 minutes of meditation every night. I have started this it's been a couple of months now. And I'm proud of that process, because even when I'm tired and my ego may say, oh, you can skip this, you can just skip, I still go in my studio, sit in my chair, turn on my Himalayan salt lamp, and put on something on YouTube and zone out for a minute. And I'm grateful for placing that habit in my life. But I still know that I have to master sleep. So what are the things that you have to master in your life? And there's so much more I have to master. It's not about me right now, though. It's not about me. It's about us. and getting these lessons so we can move forward and grow in a more profound, prophetic, beautiful way. I love y'all. Stay tuned. A lot more is coming. Peace.